Hey troops, it's Roy from Geeks Avengers. Woohoo! Broadcasting from the green couch in the Clintonville section of Columbus, Ohio. Yes, I'm posting something on a weekday, on a Monday after work. Yeah, this is going to be weird and rambly because I'm punchy as all heck. So you're going, so what's the big deal? So, and I'm flipping through stuff online, news, IO9, comic book, 5 bajillion sites looking at stuff. And I think it was IO9. They mentioned, the great lines. Of course, I am no man. That wonderful line from Return of the King. And it's like, it's 15 years ago. 15 years. Wow. Which is why this could get really weird and rambly because this is nostalgia up the yin yang. As much as when you're a geek, as much as you're thinking about X-Men, the Avengers, Justice League, 5 billion things that you hoped, but were like, there's no way in heck y'all gonna make this as a movie. Before that, Lord of the Rings. I mean, three seminal pieces of literature, not just geek stuff and it's not about dwarves and then no literature. Okay, a piece of work that affected genres all over the place. I mean, heck, before Star Wars came out, there's a reason there's a trilogy, people. Okay. And it goes on and on and on and on from there. I caught Return of the King. This is the first time, and actually it's the only time I've ever done a movie marathon for fandom genre stuff. And you're going, why? Because I'm old and it was exhausting as heck. I mean, you're thinking of how bad can it be to sit in the theater for, 12 hours to watch the 3 movies? It was a long day. And it was a glorious day. I got in with a whole bunch of folks from work and we, got the tickets and this is before, this is just at the crux where I think the entire business realized, it's not, obviously you made money off of Star Wars and blah, blah, blah. But I think this is when finally they realized, oh, we can make money. Of course, the film started early. Like I don't remember what time, but the line was long. Getting in there, costuming not so much, but a couple folks here and there. And actually, the thing for me, it was fun watching everything on the big screen again. And the showing they had, the way this series was set up is that Two Towers and Fellowship were extended editions. So, yeah, it wasn't just 3 hours each. It was like 3.5 hours. It was insane. My big nightmare was, the Return of the King was going to start like about 10 o'clock. And I'm thinking, my God, am I going to be awake? Am I going to be conscious? Oh yeah, I was conscious with everybody else in the theater. I've always thought about this that there was this short period because of Lord of the Rings and Harry Potter at the time. The Winter Movie, there's always something coming out, big name, yada yada yada. But those two series, made it special. It was like a Christmas present. And Return of the King in the ads, if you remember, they had fun with that going, come Christmas, baby. You've been waiting 3 years for this. Merry Christmas, everybody. Oh, man. And I remember the ad. And if you've got this, and I mentioned it's got to be on the Blu-ray too. They're showing, you of course, the token, well, duh, you got to have this in your special features trailer. That thing was as epic as the dang movies. The whole, it's not just the fact you showed the scenes from the movie, duh, but these epic lines of with it, with to defeat evil takes sacrifice. I don't exactly remember what the exact lines were, but phrases like that where you're like, yeah, yeah, like holy crap, man. And you always talk about the trilogy, as much as being the second movie is kind of downer because you're the one stuck in the middle that's got to kind of, sometimes be the one that's kind of a downer, the Empire Strikes Back thing and all that kind of stuff. The third movie tends to be one of those things where like, oh, this is how you're going to end it? Okay. And this is one of those moments, though, where when it's over, you just kind of sit there and go, so many things. I mean, you talk about, I am no man, the plethora of wonderful lines. I mean, that one where the Witch King's like, so what are you gonna do? Oh man, this is gonna suck, and stab. Theoden's speech to the Rohirrim before the giant cavalry charge, and he's blessing all of their weapons with his blade as he runs down the line. Gandalf and Merry bless them. They're stuck on the very top tier of Minas Tirith, and Merry's like, "Oh man, we're gonna die." And Gandalf talks to him about what it was like when he died, and it's as much, and it's cool that's the two of them because as you watch the movies, that Gandalf looks at Merry and goes, "You just a pain in the ass, man." But to see the two of them together, and Gandalf, it's fun seeing Gandalf because there are so many sides to him. You've got the kind of hard ass, will not take crap from anyone's side. You've got the you only see it around the hobbits, where he kind of finally lets his guard down, and it's just like he gets to enjoy life and not just be Gandalf. And then there's this moment, it's very similar to the moment with Frodo in the Mines of Moria, where Frodo's getting kind of really angry about everything, like how could this happen? And then Gandalf and that mentor, that gentle mentor side, and then happens again with Merry, that moment of giving him this warm moment. To every reason, obviously, be afraid you're about to get your ass whooped by a bunch of these Uruk-hai and stuff, but to give him just that little bit of strength to look, just hold on, all right. And of course, my favorite speech is Aragorn's speech at the Black Gate. I mean, holy crap, man. I mean, yes, was it Henry V has that one famous speech, I forget what it is, Saint something's day. Yes, epic fail. Okay, sorry, I'm not an English major. All right, I'm a geek who tries to be reasonably articulate. But at the Black Gate, you're out. No, you're 500 dudes taking 10,000, and your job isn't even to win. Your job is to be a stalling tactic, hoping that two dwarves aren't dead and dump the ring into Mount Doom, and you have Aragorn, in all his glory, in the badass Gandorian armor on Brigo, who's probably thinking, you gonna let me go, right? I'm gonna run like heck, just to hear Aragorn just roar and just like gather up all the courage he has, and even William Wallace is going, dang, even Bill Pullman from Independence Day is going, dang, son. and I mean, not even just that, but the scenes through the whole movie. I mean, oh my Lord, and I'm forgetting the worst. How can I forget this line? The one that wins the Oscar. I mean, and right now you're going, oh, that one. Sam and Frodo on Mount Doom. Frodo's giving up. He has no hope. I mean, poor dude's had Satan around his neck for a year, and all he sees is gravel, and basically getting his brainwashed. So he finally gives up. I mean, literally is Satan, and convince him to just give up, and Sam, bless him, he's the gardener. Okay, he's the goofy sidekick, and in the movies, in a lot of ways, he's the most important hero of all. Oh, because he's the one that keeps carrying Frodo, reminding him of all these things. And at the very end, when Frodo could have easily given up, he goes, no, screw this crap. If I cannot carry the ring, I will carry it for you. If you're not sobbing at that point, oh, I feel sorry for you. And so many scenes. I mean, we're talking about all this stuff right now. I mean, the cavalry charge. Was it 16,000? I think. How many thousand? I remember during one of the umpteen documentaries, they were talking about no one wanted to even touch Lord of the Rings because at the time there was no technology to make any of this stuff. Yes, you could use stop motion and you could make animatronic, blah 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 blah, but nothing. It would not be able to grab you by the throat and go, "This is awesome." And then finally, by the time Peter Jackson had his hands on it, the realization that we can make this and make it real. Oh, that for me, that's always been the beauty of the films. It's not about a bunch of dwarves and dragons and no, it's a war film. It is a period war film. Akira Kurosawa is going, oh hell yeah. Cecil B. DeMille is going, oh hell yeah. It's the beauty of this stuff. It's a war film of epic proportions. It's like Wonder. I mean, in the same way that makes Wonder Woman so powerful, it is about the destruction and nightmare and hell, which is war, and a reminder of why sometimes you have to fight. Because, like Sam says in The Two Towers, there's good in this world, and it's worth fighting for. And that was the magnificent part of the film. I mean, you have all these scenes. The cavalry charge. Oh my, Faramir. When this is after the fail. He can't hold that one spot outside the city, and of course Denethor is being a schmuck and going, I don't have another son. I don't care what you do. And bless Faramir's heart, he's like, fine, bite me, read between the lines, and leads that cavalry charge into death because he's got nothing else left. And then you interplay that with Merry and Denethor. Denethor's eating, and the kind of overdone symbolism of you see the grape juice dripping from his lips as he's eating, and you hear Merry, Dominic Monaghan, damn, can that boy sing? Dang. It breaks your heart because you know what's coming, and how the scene cuts from moment to moment as Faramir is leading the charge, and you see from the Uruk-hai, from their position in the city, and then it switches over to the dining scene with Denethor and Merry, and as you go back to the city, and more Uruk-hai gather, more and more, and you realize, and even Butch and Sundance are going, damn, boys, damn. Can't end the scenes with a moment like that because, of course, this is the one stolen by Justice League, the signal fires. I mean, that was this perfect moment, visually, and the thing is, it would have been easy to just do, obvious big giant close-ups of the fires that are lighting. No, you have these wonderful scenic shots through New Zealand. And as the scene progresses, you see these little, these little balls of light of hope in the distance, and these little moments here and there, and you see them just gently ignite. And at the same time, you hear the soundtrack and the music building up and building up. You hear from the strings to the horns. It's like, and then of course you see Aragorn going. The signal fires are lit. The whole thing is just so amazing. I'm tired of hearing people bitch and whine about the ending's too long. I mentioned this on Facebook. The ending is what it's supposed to be. You don't end it with Aragorn. He's not where the story started. And he is the umpteenth fairy tale ending. Ooh, he gets to get married. He gets to be king. Woo! That's not the ending. And the ending is not when, it was not when Sam gets married. No, that's not the ending. That's the same thing. It's the happy ending. Ooh, no. This is a war film. The endings really is those other sections. The one where you're tearing up for the umpteenth time when when Aragorn sees the hobbits and goes, "You bow, my friend, you bow to no one," and you're like, "Oh, you're grabbing tissue and crap." And that carries over to when the hobbits are in Rosie's, and and I love how when the scene starts in the pub. You see all the hobbits being hobbits. They're all just talking shop, and they're usually warm, fuzzy, joyous selves. And then there are these four soldiers who are home, and they look tired, they look beaten. They're like, you guys don't know jack about what happens outside. And the worst part is they know that they've seen so much loss to save what was there. And it reminds me, there was a story from the 442nd in World War II. When the 442nd, they learned that the war was over in Europe, and and the thing civilians do is yay! These guys start sobbing their eyes out because all their friends, all their compatriots, all the guys they knew who died, and didn't get a chance to see that your death meant something. And that was that beautiful moment in Rosie's pub when they clinked glasses because it was like, we did it. The movie ends, and it has to end when Frodo says goodbye. Like I said, this is a war film. It's not about. The older I get, the bitchier I get about the ending of Top Gun, where they come back from the fight, they're all like, ah! And I'm like, no, you're glad to be home. You're glad to not be dead. You're glad nobody got hurt. And actually, it kind of reminds me, the ending. Wow, I'm crossing streams all over the place. I wasn't kidding about babbling. Galaxy Quest. At the end of Galaxy Quest, when they defeat what's his name, in the ship, the stunt that Tim Allen's character had hoped would works, and it's funny seeing the rest of the crew be all like, ah! Tim Allen's the one going, oh my God, I was right. Oh, thank God. And it's kind of like that. At the end when they're saying goodbye to Bilbo, and then all of a sudden the realization, oh, Frodo, it's for you as much as anything else. The weight and sacrifice to do what's important and what matters. Not everyone gets the woo ending. Sometimes you're lucky to at least get a painless, quiet death. Wow, that got kind of dark and grim. Holy crap. Wasn't kidding. This is a war film. That's the magnificence of it. It was it's a reminder about all these things. Life, people you love, the things you do because they're the right things to do. About sacrifice. Not sacrifice in the 21st century. I'm not going to be on a Facebook for the next 3 days and all that bullcrap. No. This is real sacrifice. If you're lucky, yeah, I'm going to say it. Sometimes, if you're lucky, it means a quick death that isn't super painful. Wow, this did get pretty dark, didn't it? I'm sorry. Wow. But that is Return of the King. It's about everything. It's about life in general. Actually, let's cross streams again. It's kind of like the end of the Avengers. When they realize they won. And Stark's like, I'm alive! Yay! I'm alive! I'm not dead in a can. Although I will have PTSD for the next 7-8 years or to whenever. It's kind of like that. Stark is joking because that's what he does, but that's not the woo joyous joking. It's the joking of I'm alive and I'm fried and oh my God, I could have died, but I didn't. That kind of thing. It's one of those things where Return of the King. And it didn't end there though, because hey, oh, where'd my DVD go? Oh shoot, did I toss it somewhere? God dang it! Because the one other thing I wanted to share, because at this point, I mean, DVDs are big. As opposed to now where it's almost kind of passe. And it was kind of fun when it came out on DVD, going to Best Buy, and kind of desperately looking for the big dump. And if memory serves, going at first and going, oh my God, are you guys sold out? And I'm not talking just, a couple rows. It was a giant dump, a giant display. And, just kind of the first moment kind of being in golem mode going, precious. Oh, I found it. Yay. Precious. And then going into getting in the line, to pick this thing up. And kind of I was grinning like I am right now, actually. It was Christmas. Oh my God. Two other guys after me had their discs, and we all looked at each other the same look of. Thank God for DVD, because I would rip the crap out of a VHS copy. I amazingly enough managed to not burn a hole in this thing. Anyway, wow, I've been doing this for 21 minutes. I need to shut up now because y'all bored as all heck. And besides, it's 15th year anniversary, and best way to celebrate, put your copy in the dang player, all right? Blu-ray, DVD, whatever the heck you got. Because, yeah. Oh, and of course, the other big thing, 11 Oscars. Sweep, man. And unfortunately, I think genre movies were kind of paying for it for a while until at least Shape of Water won Best Picture. But that's another story for another time. Hey. But anyway, I'm going to go because you guys need to do other stuff besides hear me ramble and stuff and hear me get all kind of nostalgic and melancholy. Anyway, hey, y'all have a good rest of the week. May the force be with you. May the odds be in your favor. And always, 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 which is something that Tolkien and this movie is about, be good to each other, okay, peeps? Peace.